Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Nerds Amalgamated. I'm the Professor and my co-hosts are Bucky
Hello.
and the DJ.
Hey guys.
What have you been up to, DJ?
Oh, swamped with uni assignments as you.
And what about you, Bucky?
Yeah, pretty much the same, just doing assignments and keeping it all rolling.
And as for myself, I'm in the full-time employment master rate.
Yeah, been there, done that. I'm just trying something new now.
No more teachers, no more no more classrooms, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks. I nearly said no more classrooms, dirty looks, but that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I've been in some classrooms where I got dirty looks from pretty much everybody.
Yeah, but that's on you, really.
I'll own that.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry, DJ, what were you saying?
I was going to say, schools, unlike university, were fun.
I really enjoyed uni. Anyway, on to our first topic tonight. Bucky's being a bit of a sleazebag, and he's been looking at women's clothing in space.
I've never been a sleazebag.
Wow.
And it's the space suit. It's not the women's clothing.
It's clothing.
Well, spacesuit, swimsuit, I don't see the difference.
Oh my god.
You don't see the difference between a swimsuit and a spacesuit?
Oh no.
Do you remember you saying you weren't something about Doctor Who? You weren't convinced she was a female. I can understand how you got confused now.
Hey, for me to have any experience with swimsuits or spacesuits, I'd have to leave the house.
Wow. Yeah. Look, honestly, I haven't actually been looking at the items of clothing. The problem is the fact that there was actually a lack of them in space.
See, scantily clad spacewoman.
Oh no.
And it was all NASA's fault, and not mine either. Apparently, we were going to be having history being made with the first all-female spacewalk, but someone forgot to pack in 2 properly fitting spacesuits for the ladies. So, since there was only one available, they had to send a bloke along to accompany her instead.
You'd think that would be something you'd double check ahead of time. Like when I go camping, I check at least 3 times to make sure I've got enough clothes.
Yeah, look, honestly, I'm surprised myself that it's one of those essential items of clothing, particularly when you are planning to have 2 ladies do a spacewalk. You're going to go, let's make sure they both got the right spacesuit and put their name badges on it because it's going to be a memorable thing and we're going to want to put these in a museum. But unfortunately, nobody actually had the forethought to go and double check that they actually had all the correct equipment. So, unfortunately, Christina Koch and Anne McLean, who were scheduled to conduct a walk at the International Space Station in the next few hours, they won't be able to because there's only the one suit available. So they're going to be doing at separate times, but yeah.
Yes, Anne McLean, who wears a medium hard upper torso, a bespoke medium hard upper torso with white highlights and an American flag decal. And this is why I don't write for fashion.
I was just going to say, you're calling me sleazy?
Oh man.
Yeah, look, honestly, it's a shame because it would have been cool for them to have actually been able to have had this happen at last.
Well, here's the problem. Anne McLean is the 13th woman who has done a spacewalk. So that's why they forgot, because unlucky 13.
Yeah, but she's already conducted her spacewalk. So it's Ms. Koch is going to be the 14th. He's scheduled for the next one, which was going to be the 2 ladies together.
Yes, but the curse carries over.
I think you've got the DJ's logic chip somewhere involved in that reasoning.
I don't even get that logic either. Like, what the hey?
Well, because she's the 13th woman who will spacewalk. And if you're the 13th something, you're always going to be unlucky for being the 13th something.
No.
Give me an example of a
that's what's known as an old wives' tale.
Yeah.
I've seen Apollo 13. You know what happened to those astronauts after Apollo 13? At least one of them stubbed his toe on a table.
But they also got to drive Corvettes for $1.
And keep them.
No, they were leased.
I thought they were...
Although they probably got to buy them later on, but no, generally the Corvettes that the astronauts drove were leased. They were going to be given one to start with, but because they were considered government employees, they weren't allowed to accept them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So an enterprising young dealer near the Kennedy Space Center said, hey, you know what? How about we do this? I'll lease it to you for $1. And NASA had to sit there and go, okay, they're paying for it, so it's not a gift, so we can't stop them.
I can understand.
Although these days astronauts turn up in all sorts of sensible cars, they don't drive the same passion.
Well, the coolest astronaut car ever is the APC they use for if the rocket blows up a launch pad. They zip line out of the space shuttle down to a safe landing. Then they have to jump in an APC and race to a bunker before they get.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the NASA M113?
I don't think it's an M113. Actually, it might be.
Well, the professor's going to find out which vehicle it was. At the Queensland Museum at the present time, actually better just double check the dates. It's can't see when it finishes, but there's an exhibit of NASA spacesuit displays celebrating 50 years after the moon landing. So they've got 250 items on show from NASA, a human experience at the Queensland Museum, with a world-first arrangement of suits from the Mercury, Gemini and Apollo missions, amongst many, many others. So if you're in the area, stop by and check it out.
We'll send the details on the notes.
I think they've even got a command module.
Yeah, it must have been the M113, but it doesn't look right to me. And when I went to Kennedy 10 years ago, like just before the end of the space shuttle program, I remember the APC being covered in crew patches because each flight would get a sticker and put their patch on the vehicle.
But I will say this. I will say this with this whole spacewalk that was supposed to happen. It would have been groundbreaking. It would have been really groundbreaking.
Would have been historical, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in 100 years we would have been saying, "Hey, remember that time when two women went spacewalking together?"
My goodness. I think we're picking on the DJ a bit.
We are. We should let up a little bit until the next topic, which is about the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
Wait. You're going to be in it?
Not yet. But they've announced 12 finalists for the 2019. These Candy Crush, Centipede, Colossal Cave Adventure, Dance Dance Revolution, Half-Life, Microsoft Windows Solitaire, Mortal Kombat, Myst, NBA 2K, Sid Meier's Civilization, Super Mario Kart, and Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Wait. Stop. Candy Crush as a video game?
Yeah.
It took you this long to realise Candy Crush was on the list?
I'm just... Candy Crush? Really?
Here we go. What's your problem with Candy Crush?
It's just Candy Crush.
What?
As I said, I'm just no fan of mobile games. Really?
Well, Bejeweled never made me pay money to keep playing. I mean, you could buy it, but you could keep playing it for free anyway. You just never had to pay microtransactions or wait 24 hours.
Although I will say this though, some of these games they were historic in a sense. Like Dance Dance Revolution introduced the whole genre of dance game. Then you had Microsoft Solitaire. That was one of those games that's still addictive. Well, not as addictive as Microsoft Pinball, but
I think it's interesting that they don't pick from that year. Like one of the inductees for 2018 is Spacewalk, which is from the mid-60s. 2015 had Tetris. I'm not sure why they I get why they're putting in older games, but I don't know why they don't have a list of the game from this year that's going to go into Hall of Fame. I suppose there'll just be a Game of the Year award then, wouldn't it?
it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But then there is always NBA 2K as well. That's sort of like a game of this year.
NBA 2K, isn't it NBA 2000?
Yeah.
So it goes back to 2000, so 19 years ago?
Yeah, but...
Or am I just missing something here?
Well, it does look like there's a nomination form. So you can put down your name, the country, and your email address and the game you want to nominate and why you think it's Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from the criteria icon status, the game is widely recognized and remembered. Longevity, the game is more than a passing fad and has enjoyed popularity over time. Geographical reach, the game meets the above criteria of international and influence. The game has exerted significant influence on the design and development of other games, on other forms of entertainment, or on popular culture and society in general. A game may be inducted on the basis of this criterion without necessarily having met all of the first three. I just think they should have Bejeweled instead of Candy Crush.
No.
So guys, which game would you like to see in next year's Hall of Fame?
Hopefully mine.
But in all honesty, though, what type of game would?
Looking through the inducted game, looks like they've hit most of the key points. I see there's not really any RTS representation, so I'd probably go for maybe Command and Conquer. I'd like to say Dune 2 because that's my favorite of the early Westwood games. But Command and Conquer has a bigger fan base.
Well, it was either that or StarCraft. I agree with you there.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dune 2 was the grandfather of RTS games as we know it today, and got iterated on with the early Command and Conquer games. Every RTS game can trace its lineage back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the old game Supreme Commander?
Yeah, that's still newer than I'm thinking.
Or what was the other one? Total Annihilation.
Same again.
Yeah, those are pretty cool games, but I don't think they have I don't think they're as iconic as Command and Conquer.
I'm surprised Diablo's not Hall of Fame.
Well, go and nominate it.
I have to admit that's one game that is missing from the list, but
it's only been running for 4 years now.
Diablo?
No, the Hall of Fame.
Oh. Actually, one thing I do find interesting here is the DJ goes and gets upset about Candy Crush, but completely misses Centipede.
I don't think I played Centipede at all.
Well, it was the game you played on your Nokia.
You mean Snake?
Yeah, Centipede's different, isn't it?
Isn't Centipede the same as Snake?
Nope.
Centipede's For My Time. It's an old arcade game.
Okay.
And of course, Googling Centipede doesn't actually bring up anything relevant for that. Let's see. Atari Centipede. Yeah, there's it's kind of like Space Invaders, but with bugs instead of.
Okay.
And you can move your spaceship in 2 dimensions.
I think I may have actually played this, just never knew the name.
What's the other games they didn't have? They haven't even. Oh, the Gauntlet series.
Elf needs food badly.
They haven't included Space Quest or Police Quest.
Yeah, there's no adventure games.
Or Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry. Wasn't there a remake coming up for that game as well, though?
There's always remakes coming up for that game.
Yeah. I remember a time when there were advertisements in magazines who downloaded your old dumb phone.
Mm-hmm. They also don't have Outrun and Burnout on the list, or Rallycross. There's none of the old driving games anywhere on there.
Yeah.
But they do have Space Invaders and Tetris.
And the original Doom.
And Donkey Kong, where Mario's trying to rescue the princess from Donkey Kong.
I like the whole handover finalist from various years.
What do you mean?
So from 26, so for the class of 2019, Sid Meier's Civilization is a handover final from 2016 to 2019.
Okay, well, what does that mean?
He doesn't know.
No idea, but
it just sounds cool.
Oh no, this is on the Wikipedia page. They're saying it's a handover finalist. Handover finalist 2017, Solitaire, Mortal Kombat, and Myst. I think they're just updating the 2017 list because they couldn't find anything.
Well, now I've introduced it to all of our many fans. So this year they'll surely be inundated with nominations.
I can imagine all three of us just spamming the video game Hall of Fame with different games.
That would be unethical.
And if I was going to do something like that, I'd have to go with Command & Conquer Red Alert, the mobile edition.
For a second, I was thinking Command & Conquer Rival, and I was about to come over there and tear your eyes out.
Well, we could go with Blades.
We've already got enough mobile games in the hall, or at least nominated for the hall.
Oh, God.
Actually, one of the annoying things I found is they've got Halo, but they don't have anything. It was just, they got Final Fantasy. I suppose that was only.
Halo CE beat Half-Life Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Just ignore all of the stuff that Halo.
Imagine putting in Destiny.
Isn't that all the game?
Yeah.
Imagine putting in Destiny in the Hall of Fame.
Nah, it's got to be iconic.
Actually, no. I found the perfect game to be in the Hall of Fame.
Here we go.
Star Wars Battlefront.
The 2005 edition. Say, I'm sure your audio just cut off there. Don't make me come over there and carve out your eyes with a rusty spoon.
No, I meant the 2016 edition.
Forget the spoon, use a mallet.
Man, I wish I was using TeamSpeak for this so I'd get the user was kicked from your channel.
Yes. Oh, well,
I'm trying to come up with a good segue for the next topic here.
I was just going to say, on that disappointing
so...
note, I think it might be time to move along before we get any more stupid comments.
Yes.
Hang on, talk about stupid comments. We do actually need him back.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, here's the segue. I hope they can dig up some more iconic games, just like our next topic.
Oh my god, that sounds so bad.
Well, if they weren't watching this show for my awful segues, what else would they, listening?
They'll be listening to the penguins and they'll be listening to the penguins.
Penguins? What's the penguins?
The penguins.
You're picking on my penguin.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I think we need to edit that segue out.
No, it's staying. Get on with your topic. I segued to you. Get on with your topic.
So 4 days ago, Nickelodeon released the live-action Dora the Explorer movie called.
It's not Dora the Explorer.
They didn't release it.
It doesn't say Dora the Explorer in the thing.
Well, it is Dora. We all know it's Dora the Explorer.
Anyway, so she's not an explorer. She's just Dora.
It does say Dora the Explorer in the article.
She's retired from exploring. What is she doing now?
She's now gone to college.
I thought it was school.
Yeah, high school.
College, high school. It's some sort of educational institution.
The plot is hilarious. It's saying, having spent most of her life exploring the jungle with her parents, nothing could prepare Dora for her most dangerous adventure ever. High school. So always an explorer, she finds herself with Boots, her best friend Diego, who's acted by Jeff Wahlberg, mysterious jungle inhabitant starring Eugenio Derbez, and a ragtag of teens to save her parents, starred by Eva Longoria and Mike, and solve impossible mysteries.
Wow. So they couldn't have come up with a more generic plotline if they
They could have. They could have had the DJ write it.
This reminds me of Tomb Raider. It's like Nickelodeon came up saying, Let's put Dora in a Tomb Raider type setting, but for kids.
Well, what is Dora the Explorer except Tomb Raider without the tigers, T-Rex,
and
the guns?
So I would have gone with Temple of Doom or something like that.
But no, it's the Lost City of Gold, like every other kid's story.
Well, Indiana Jones went to the Lost Cities. Except he had the Crystal Skull.
With the number of movies there are about Lost City of Gold somewhere in Central or South America, how many Lost Cities of Gold were there?
So that's the problem. They never found them to be able to count them, which is actually pretty bad. Like, you think, you go to the trouble of building yourself a city of gold, you're going to keep track of where it is, aren't you?
Yeah.
But they just kept losing it, so they had to keep making new ones. And for some reason, and the Incas and the Aztecs used to use that tying a knot on a piece of string as their library for keeping track of things, and then they forgot how to decode it, so they don't know exactly what each type of knot means exactly.
Yeah, this feels like
come on, you can't say something negative about Dora. I've got nephews and nieces that enjoy watching Dora the Explorer.
Oh, okay.
And they will beat you up.
They'd probably win too.
Oh yeah.
The best part of this is that Danny Trejo is Boot.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? You can't cut out.
I said the best part of this is that Danny Trejo is Boot.
Yeah, Danny Trejo as Boots.
Trejo, not Trejo. Oh my goodness.
Trejo sounds like a shitty landscaping company's name. Hey, I'm Trejo, and I'll cut your trees. I'll mow your lawn.
And you couldn't have said it about a guy that's probably scarier The guy who epitomizes the Mexican villain
The guy who will single-handedly rip your head off.
and then slice you apart with a machete.
He's pretty good to his nephews and
He is. He's pretty cool.
I'm assuming you guys will watch it at some point.
Yeah.
probably not. I'm not going to try to watch it, but if I get dragged there with my cousins or something...
I'll probably watch it with my nephews and nieces.
Honestly, there's probably going to be worse movies to come out.
There are a couple of Disney coming out this year, so yeah, I agree with you there.
Mm-hmm. Just noticed something on the side of this article. Dark Universe.
A dark Dora the Explorer universe.
No.
That would be one heck of a crossover. The Dark Universe with Dora the Explorer. Oh my god,
what
that
is
would
Dark
just be
Universe,
wrong.
then?
No, this is actually... do you remember when Tom Cruise did The Mummy?
Yep.
And it had Tom Cruise, Russell Crowe, etc., and all the rest.
So that's the Mummy Cinematic Universe.
Apparently there's a Bride of Frankenstein coming up sometime soon. So, yeah.
Was the original Bride of Frankenstein tied into the Mummy?
No, but it's just Hollywood, so they just do all sorts of weird stuff. Because Russell Crowe was in the Mummy, he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay, so we're just going for a whole bunch of Victorian iconic characters.
Mm-hmm. They're saying here it was supposed to be coming out until 14th of February 2019, but yeah, I'm not sure when it's going to come out now.
Yeah, because Alex Kurtzman, the guy behind it, I heard he's doing some new work that's making him leave behind the Dark Universe.
Well, wouldn't
that's the one
after the reception it got?
Yeah, he's doing more Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
Oh, actually, he's doing a couple of stories. He's doing Star Trek and Hawaii Five.
Well, I hope this.
So from mediocre reboot to mediocre reboot.
Well, I didn't mind The Mummy. Just the only problem I had with it was it had Tom Cruise. But yeah, this is just it had a lot of fun. So yeah, be good to see this.
Though I will say, I would like to see the second take guys do a couple of reviews of the Dark Universe movies.
There we go. There's the shout out.
Yep. Let's move on to the games. Shoehorn in a penguin. What have you been playing, DJ?
I haven't been playing anything at all.
Really?
As I said earlier on, I've been swamped with assignments.
Okay, so I've got a broken computer, a broken laptop, a broken phone, and I still managed to find some time to game this week.
It was the Switch, wasn't it?
Yes.
Tetris?
I managed to peel my Switch out of my sister's hand. She will not give it back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my Switch back to play a bit of Wargroove, playing the puzzle maps. They're a lot of fun. And they're kind of the right length for me to get a couple in on the into work.
It's on a mobile platform. No.
I know, it's the worst.
The DJ's going to be upset.
So what have you been playing, Bucky?
I've been playing The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which was recently put up as a free download from Bethesda.
Free until yesterday, if you're listening when this episode comes out.
Yes. So, yeah, it's a bit of a walk down memory lane. But, yeah, it's been fun walking around and looking at the really, really old graphics.
Which was your first Elder Scroll?
I think it might have been Morrowind, but then I went back and got hold of the others. But, yeah, like, I wouldn't hold my breath whether that's correct or not, because we are talking a fair while back, so...
Do you think Morrowind holds up for a first-time player these days?
Be kind of hard to say, because it's come so far. Like, when you look at the evolution of the graphics and gameplay, it's probably a little bit slow and boring in comparison to some of the newer ones. But once you get caught into it and you get stuck on the lore and everything like that, you probably go back and play it. But yeah, it's kind of like with Assassin's Creed. I started off on number 1, but I know other people who complained about number 1, the original Assassin's Creed being boring. But they loved the third game. So
is Morrowind the one where, as you're leaving, the guy falls out of the sky and he has the scroll of jumping? But
I'm still running around. I'm still running around in town at the moment.
I don't remember which one it was, but I know one of them was hugely popular because it has dumb stuff like that. just little
okay.
world building tidbits.
Morrowind's the one where you start off, you're a prisoner being transferred on a ship.
Isn't that every Elder Scrolls though?
No, Skyrim, you're being transferred in a cart. What was number 4? I can't remember how I started off now.
I think the first one you break out of prison.
There's just so many of the different games with all the extra bits and pieces of add-ons.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, you're going to get lost eventually trying to remember which one's which. It's like I've played Oblivion and I can't even remember how that started.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the Elder Scrolls is that if you pay attention to books in the background, you find out that because each game is set several years apart from the other, the oral history changes over time. So by the time you get to Skyrim, the stories of Morrowind have faded away and some legend.
Yeah.
Buck, you were asking how does the Oblivion story start? So player is imprisoned in a cell for an unknown crime. The Emperor Uriel Septim the
That's
Seventh.
right. He's been assassinated or something, and you break out and go after the people responsible.
Yeah, and you are entrusted You are entrusted with the Amulet of Kings. Orders you to take it to the man known Joffrey, the Grandmaster of the Blades, at Wynon Priory. Immediately afterwards, one of the assassins is the Emperor, and you escape the sewers and open Cyrodiil.
Mm-hmm.
That's Oblivion.
And you get to disappear into other portals and realms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just so much fun, like with games like The Elder Scrolls and Assassin's Creed, where they've got good storylines and so forth.
I think each of the Oblivion gates is generated too, isn't it?
Sorry, what was that?
I think each of the Oblivion gates is procedurally generated. So each time you go in, it'll be a different world.
Yes, in Oblivion it was, yeah. But I like the fact that in one of the gates, of course, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but you go across into one of the other realms and planes, and you end up becoming the god, and then you get transferred back over.
I've got to get around to playing Oblivion sometime.
It's just there, like considering the fact that the Elder Scrolls started off. When was it? It was back in the 90s?
Years ago. The whole reason for this free giveaway.
Yeah, right. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, like it's so amazingly cool.
First Elder
And you can also get Elder Scrolls 1 and 2 for free forever on Bethesda's launch. Yeah, so anyway, let's move along to the shout-outs. On the 26th of May, 1953... What?
I'm upset the DJ hasn't played the game.
Yep, let's just crap on him again for that.
Sorry, I just had to highlight it.
So, on the 26th of March, 1953, Salk announced the polio vaccine. Did I just say announced it?
Yes.
Wow. So, the polio vaccine is such a huge benefit to society. If you've ever seen photos of the iron lung, if you haven't, look it up. It's a huge piece of machinery. You'd basically spend your entire life lying in a box with just your head poking.
Essentially a metal coffin.
Yeah. And now we have anti-vax. But remember, the penguins want you to vaccinate.
Hey, we've got bingo tonight.
On the 26th of March, 1989, the USSR, later known as Russia, conducted its first election. 190 million people voted, with Boris Yeltsin winning the election.
But here's the thing that gets me, right, is the USSR was more than just Russia.
Yeah, it was.
It was the Union of Soviet State Republic.
Yeah, I'm just reading from the notes that EJ gave me, so we'll blame him for forgetting about the Ukraine and pretty much all of Eastern Europe and a couple of the Stan countries, I think.
Mm-hmm.
On the 28th of March 2019, Batman turns 80. I am not with it tonight.
Wow, he's on top of his game tonight.
So Batman is now 80. And if the idea of a 80-year-old beating you up doesn't sound very scary, look up the video of Buzz Aldrin punching the moon landing denier.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good shit too.
It was solid. And then the guy came out and he's just like, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Onto the remembrances. On the 26th of March, 1892, Walt Whitman, the American poet, essayist, and journalist, and plot point in Breaking Bad. He was a humanist, part of the transition between what is that word?
Transcendentalism?
And realism. I'm just not even going to throw off the hard words anymore, so...
Incorporating both views in his works.
That's how you do it. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called the father of free verse. I didn't know, but apparently his work was controversial in time. Tongue is not working. His poetry collection, Leaves of Grass, was described as obscene for its overt sexuality. He died of pleurisy at 72 in Camden, New Jersey. On the 23rd of March, 2019, Larry Cohen, American film producer, director, screenwriter, best known as a B-movie auteur of horror and science fiction film, often containing a police procedural element in the 70s and 80s. He made It's Alive, God Told Me To, It Lives Again, and screenwrote for Phone Booth, Cellular, and Captivity. He died at 82 in Beverly Hills, California. I don't think I've ever seen a Coen movie. Do you guys have a favorite?
I think I only saw.
I've seen a few of them. None of them really stand out as being amazing.
Yeah, they are B-movies. Not that that's a particularly bad thing, obviously. He's got quite a following.
There's quite a few B movies that are become cult classics.
Yeah.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yep. Now, on the same day, we also have Ryan Brandt, the American game designer and founder of Take-Two Interactive. He founded Take-Two in September 1993, looking to become a major publisher. They became public in 1997 and acquired Rockstar Games, who were back then known as DMA Designs, and made Lemming. Apparently, they're also responsible for forming Bungie. He died at 49 after a cardiac arrest in Palm Beach, Florida.
He was probably trying to carry his massive wealth in his wallet.
And it was Florida, so probably also cocaine.
I'm not going to go there.
For birthdays, the 26th of March 1931, we have Leonard Nimoy. He's famous for playing Spock in Star Trek, from the pilot episode in 1964 to the movie in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
His autobiography, I Am Not Spock and I Am Spock, were written from the viewpoint of being so iconically recognized as Spock. In 2015, an asteroid was named 4864 Nimoy in his honor. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, which is a great point that he's such iconic Spock. I don't feel like anyone remembers William Shatner or Yahara or anyone like that, but everyone is Spock.
Well, they remember them, but yeah, Spock was Spock.
Yeah. And there's also Zulu.
Yeah, but still, Spock was Spock.
Yes, Spock was Spock.
If they didn't have Spock, the show probably wouldn't have done as well.
26th of March 1941, we have Richard Dawkins, the English ethologist and evolutionary biologist and author. He's an emeritus fellow of New College, Oxford, and was the University of Oxford's Professor for Public Understanding of Science from 1995 until 2008. He's famous for his books The Selfish Gene, The Extended Phenotype, and The God Deluge. He's an outspoken atheist and frequently criticizes creationism and intelligent design. It was kind of weird, actually. I once saw a teacher at a Christian reading the God Deluge in front of the class, and I felt like that was the sort of thing they wouldn't want the teachers doing in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in Nairobi, British Kenya.
Well, be interesting though now that he's dead.
He's not dead yet.
Isn't he dead?
No.
Oh, it's birthdays. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 78 years old, but he is still alive.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the photo of him here. It looks like a photo of a corpse.
He was actually married to Lala Ward from 1992 and 2016. Lala Ward is famous for being Mana from The Who. 26th of March 1973, we have Larry Page, co-founder of Google with Sergey Brin. He continues to be the CEO of Alphabet Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And so he left Google in 2001 in favor of Eric Schmidt. He took the role back in 2011, then stepped aside again in 2015 to become CEO of Alphabet. They have their fingers in a lot of pies.
I think that's the reason why they chose the name.
Yeah, but everything still gets put under Google, really. Like, you never hear what Alphabet's doing. You only ever hear what Google's.
Kind of like the Umbrella Corporation. It's there, but it's not.
Oh, great. I don't want to get eaten by zombies.
Well, hey, they were planning not. They were the first company that actively sought to put data centers on board ships so that they were outside of any government control.
Wait, Alphabet or Umbrella?
Google.
Okay.
But probably Umbrella as well.
I think we spoke about this quite a while ago now.
Mm-hmm.
The Google built a self-contained data center and dropped it in the ocean.
Yes, they did have plans of getting a supertanker or something and converting that into a data center at one point, but they've since gotten a program where they've got one that they've sunk, which is helping to reduce the costs on cooling and also power because it's got tidal flow generators.
So Larry was born in Lansing, Michigan. Now on to events of interest. On the 26th of March, 1804, Jefferson was presented with a mammoth loaf of bread. The bread was an accompaniment to his giant block of cheese that he was given in 1802.
It's going to be a big block of cheese if 2 years later he's still pecking away at it.
It was seriously big. Now, we don't have it in the notes, but let's see if they've got the measurement. Here we go. The cheese was 1,200 pounds in gratitude for his support of religious tolerance.
I just keep remembering that line from Encino Man, where he's learnt some Spanish, Brendan Fraser's character, and the only phrase he's learnt is the cheese is old and mouldy, and he goes out to a bar with the boys, and he's getting in trouble because one of the local Latino gang guys is sitting there, and his girlfriend's hitting on Brendan Fraser, and he's getting up into his face and getting aggressive, and Brendan Fraser utters the cheese is old and mouldy phrase, and that just makes everyone laugh.
Sort of like the hovercraft is full of eels thing.
Kinda.
So it says here in the article that they brought in the loaf of bread, the remnants of a enormous side of roast beef, and copious amounts of alcohol. And Jefferson pulled out his pocket knife and cut the first slice of bread, and the party quickly degenerated into a noisy, drunken affair.
Sounds about right for Jefferson.
On the 26th of March, 1958, The Bridge on the River Kwai won Best Picture. Joanne Woodward and Alec Guinness won Best Actress and Best Actor at the 30th Academy Award. 27th of March, 1998, the Food and Drug Administration approved Viagra for use as a treatment for male impotence, the first pill approved for this condition in the United States. 27th of March, 2012, James Cameron became the first person to visit the Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth in over 50 years. And I love his story about that. At the bottom of the ocean, looking around, and his wife called him. And he said something like, "Let that be a lesson to you. No matter where you go, you can't get away from it."
Unfortunately, his submarine failed to return to the surface, and authorities believe it was his wife. No, he returned to the surface. He just got in trouble when he did, and she saw that comment.
He returned to the surface and announced 5 Avatar sequels. We should have left him down there.
Yeah. Anyone who goes swimming in a giant dildo deserves to suffer.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Well, it's the way it looked. It was just, yeah. It's like that.
That's most submarines.
It's like that scene out of, what's his name?
Powers.
Austin Powers, where they got the spaceship.
I wonder if we'll ever have, like, Challenger tourists.
It'd be pretty cool.
Sort
I
of
wouldn't
like
mind going down. That'd be nice and peaceful.
Yeah, sort of like getting a tourist space flight.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's the thing. Like, there's so much of the Earth to explore underwater, and we still haven't gone there and looked at a lot of these things. So
yeah, it's got to be so much more down there than we know about. But it's just a real pain to go and investigate. We need a visionary, an Elon Musk for the ocean.
A visionary or a visioner scary?
Either works.
In that case, I nominate Eminem.
Okay. That looks like that's all we have for tonight.
And it
Unfortunately,
also,
the DJ's gone missing.
yeah, he's been kidnapped by the penguins.
Thank you, penguins. So, if you got anything to add, Bucky?
Well, yeah, we got the Twitter is at an amalgamated, I think it is from memory.
Yep.
We're on Spotify, iTunes,
Stitcher,
and all other places. We're on Facebook. We have the Gmail account, which is, I can't remember what the address is for that.
No, it's not amalgamated, I think.
But you can contact us easily on Facebook or That's Not Canon. Yeah, just drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
And let us know if you nominate anything for the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. And if there's anything that you know that's coming up that's looking pretty cool that you think we should look into. And if you go to the museum, send us some photos. So I want to get over there and have a look at some of these spacesuits and bits and pieces. So other than that, take care, look out for each other, and stay hydrated.
And we'll see you next week.